yesterday or the other day, I did a live video, and we had great dialogues about goddess mythology. And then one friend, she commented that she would enjoy the conversation or the talk a lot more if I spoke faster. And that made me reflect upon my intention, reflect upon what it is that I am serving, what it is that I intend to transmit or to express or to bring into the world. And that brings me to the power of voice, the power of words, and to a gallery of goddesses that points us to not only the content of the words we speak, but the energy within it, and also the source of that energy and where it lands in the listener. We have a word for that in the Tantric Yoga. It's called Vac Shakti. It's the power of voice. So it is the power of written words. It's the power of stories. It's power of music and song. But all of those are forms of this creative power. So even if all of those forms were not present in this moment, the Vac Shakti is still here, because it points us to very deep into manifest forms. It points us to the origin. It points us to that first vibration that creates all what we call ordinary life. And this is why the practice with voice can be such a deep path of awakening. Now, the Vac Shakti, the vibration, is present in the word I speak now. They're also present in the eardrums of you receiving the words. And deeper than those physical, audible expressions, there is an energy. And when we cultivate the capacity to stay awake to not only the surface expression of energy, our sense of being expands. So right now I'm present with you here. I'm present with the words I speak. But at the same time, my being is also rooted in the garden below the garden. And my role, and many of us here, our role is to allow for that deeper vibration, that deeper wisdom to be embodied, to express itself in the world today. And it takes of us to cultivate our instruments so that we can detect and pick up more subtler expression of Vac Shakti. Now, I have mentioned that the Vac Shakti is present in the words and in the eardrums that receive the words, but it is also present in the pause between the words. There are expression happening in the words, but there's also expression and communication. It's more accurate to say exchange. There's an exchange happening where if I'm able to stay awake and alive to the deeper, more energetic expressions of voice, of Vac Shakti, as I'm speaking and communicating with you. Just like two strings that are tuned in the same way, even across the room, across distance, they will begin to resonate with each other and vibrate with each other. And this is where intimacy is happening. This is also where voice and words, instead of being a distraction in a way that we stay on the surface and bicker here, words can be a bridge into a vast silence, a vast stillness, a vast sense of self that is always here and so often overlooked. One of the goddesses, her name is Bagala. I actually have her here. Just like a chef in the kitchen would have the spices ready. I didn't know this actually before I started, but wherever I look around here, I will find a goddess. And here we have Bagala. Bagala, she's a tantric goddess, and she is called the Great Paralyzer. And you see here, but the poor guy that she holds the tongue of the demon here, and then she has the club, and she schmucks the tongue of the demon. And she is called the Paralyzer because she's the power of the power that can stop the endless loops of the demons. Demon is in this context is a little different than evil. The demons are just kind of coagulated energy, and we experience that within ourselves as hatred, greed, conflict, those loops of self-criticism. Even in the name of spirituality, we can get looped into these very intense tracks. And Bagala, she has the Shakti of stop it. And sometimes she's a good one to have in your pocket, because many of us, we are good in processing and looking at everything and feeling into, and maybe this thought is from my father, and we go on trying to solve our experiences and feelings as a riddle, and with kind of a projection that one day all of it is going to be solved. It can be like a carrot on a stick that you will never reach. And sometimes the Bagala Mukhi Shakti is needed, where you just stop it. You back to the breath, back in this moment, ready for the next. And sometimes it can be that simple. It is a tremendous power in her stop. She's also sometimes pictured with a crane neck, and that symbolizes this long neck symbolizes that pause between the words that aligns your words with the heart. And that can also be a very powerful tool to bring with you, to just pause sometimes. Sometimes we're so busy, figuring out what we're going to say and how to say it right or argue. Just remember this little key to pause, align with your heart, and then let your words express themselves. Now, what we can see from Bagala, to align with your heart and truth is not always soft and kind of wishy-washy. It can be also something sometimes very clear, and maybe a very clear no and a clear boundary can be that expression of the heart. We have the goddess We have many goddesses of Vac Shakti. We have Saraswati, we have Matangi, we have Bhairavi. Each one, even Tara, each one has a certain flavor of this power, and each one is a portal, different portals in, depending on where we are in our lives. So this power is also what brings us into mantra practice. And sometimes mantra practice can be a little esoteric, or we think that is something, we just have to repeat. And when we repeat words we don't understand. But mantra in itself, in this map, she is goddess. She is the power of creation, just like the holy books all over the world speak about. In the beginning was the word. In the beginning was the sound wave. And the scientists have discovered the same thing that the yogis has known since the beginning of time. So when we begin to align with mantra, we are aligning with primordial, very ancient vibrations. And it's not limited to human. We are trying to write it down through the alphabet and through the voice, the speaking voice or singing voice, the way we have evolved and the way we are able to as humans. But that is just an attempt to tune into a vibration that is already here. It's the same vibration that the whales are singing to, are humming to, that the Aboriginal people in Australia are guided by. They speak about the song maps, the song lines. They are so in tune with this, the song of the earth, the sound of the universe. So we are tuning into something that is primordial, timeless, which is, again, if we are willing, bring us back into an alignment and a belonging in a much vaster sense of self, where we don't feel that horrible pain of separation, which is the result of the idea, the result of uprooting ourselves, clinging to a surface identity. So when we chant the mantra here on the surface, we are honing in all that energy that usually goes in thought loops and keeps us distracted. That very same energy we can now lasso in to the mantra, and then that very same energy becomes a door opener, becomes a bridge into a deeper sense of connection. And we chant the mantra here in our human way, and then the miracle begins to happen, where we begin to detect the vibration coming from below, coming from within, the vibration, the primordial sound that has always been here. And then, like two strings on two sides of a room, or with some distance between them, they begin to vibrate, and your physical expression, your voice, your body begins to tune to the original song. Jai Ma.